So hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today I'm going to be talking about Nourishing Actives. If you recall, I did already do 2 other videos talking about actives. So today is actually part 3 and the last of this series that I'm doing where I'm talking about actives. Part 1, I spoke about AHAs and vitamin C. And then in part 2, I spoke about retinoids and botanical retinols, which basically encompasses bakuchiol and mothbean. So today I'm going to be talking about, like I said, nourishing actives, and there is no real clear definition of what exactly actives are. I combed through, a web search to just kind of get an idea about, a clear definition of actives. And the best definitions and I also mentioned this in those other 2 videos that I did, but just to recap, I really like these 2 definitions, that actives are ingredients that provide long-term skin benefits, as well as this definition that actives are ingredients that make a change in your skin. So obviously with that definition, we could be talking about something as strong as retin A, or we could be talking about something as gentle as shea butter or meadow foam seed oil. So really actives can encompass quite a bit, and it just kind of depends upon your definition for yourself what actives are. So for me, really when I'm sitting down here to film a video, when I'm talking about actives, typically I am talking about AHAs, vitamin C, and retinoids. Of course, actives also encompasses ceramides, niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, things of that nature as well. But like I said, for me, I'm typically talking about AHAs, retinoids, and vitamin C, which I already did talk about in those first 2 videos. So in a way, I'm kind of struggling what to title this video, because I do really like the idea that actives are also encompassing of very gentle, skin-loving ingredients. Like I said, beautiful plant butters and oils, things of that nature. But also in those previous videos, I spoke a lot about skin cycling, where, and this is nothing really new. It's basically the idea of giving your skin rest days from those types of actives. And so I talked about, and I believe the dermatologist is Sydney Bowes. I'll put her name down there if I got her name wrong. And what Dr. Sydney Bowes is talking about when she is talking about skin cycling is typically on evening 1 to use an AHA, evening 2 to use a retinoid, and then do 2 nights off of those types of actives, so giving your skin a rest. And that is what I did over the fall and the winter, and I've pretty much continued with that skin cycling through the spring, and now we're moving into the summer, and my skin really has been enjoying it. So basically for this video, I'm going to be talking about my quote unquote rest days, what I use, or rest nights I should say, and the products that I have been using on those rest nights. But also, in terms of actives, these are like the nourishing actives that I'm using on those rest nights. So it's kind of like a dichotomy here on what to call this video. It's sort of like the off nights, what I'm using on my rest nights. Also, I could call this video Nourishing Actives, which is what I think I'm going to be calling this video. And then just to recap what I spoke about in those 2 previous videos, during the day is pretty much the time I like to use my vitamin C. So almost every single morning is when I'm using a vitamin C. And I do have it down here with me, the one that I really love so much. And this is the Sahara Rose Hydra C serum. This has been a long time favorite of mine. So I pretty much use this every single morning. I also really like the In Beauty Project. I think that's the name of the brand, the In Beauty Project Vitamin C serum as well. I really like that one too, but the Sahara Rose is my favorite. So I pretty much use this almost every morning. And then I still am really liking the Once in a Pink Moon Capricorn Moisturizer. As you can see, I'm close to the end of this. So this is a really lovely combination that I have been using almost every morning, including of course my SPF. And then at nighttime for my evening when I use an AHA, I still am really loving the Dewy Bean Dream by Lil Fox. And then on my retinoid nights, I am still absolutely loving the Bloom Effects Black Tulip retinoid serum. This is just such a huge favorite of mine. This bottle is almost empty and I have a new one ready to go. And then I also still really like the Inky List Super Solutions 1% Retinol Serum. And then I don't know if I had this. This is the Jordan Samuel Retinol Treatment Oil. I'm not sure if I had this when I did my actives video a couple months ago, but this has been a long time favorite of mine. Absolutely adore this retinol serum. So if you prefer your retinol treatments in an oil form, this I cannot rave highly enough about it. And I do want to mention, I'm going to go ahead and mention this on the top of the video. I do have discount codes for both Bloom Effects and Jordan Samuel, 15% off. Both of these are, the code is Trish15. So I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I do have codes for several of these brands. So if you are interested in getting a discount, I've got all my discount codes listed down below, so I don't have to just like keep mentioning my discount code. So check out the description box down below if you are interested in my discount codes. But anyway, those are the actives that I'm using at nighttime. And then like I mentioned, vitamin C typically tends to be the active that I use during the day. So now let's move into, like I said, my rest nights, what I really like to use. So of course I wash my face. I'm not gonna go into cleansers here right now, but I was actually thinking that maybe my next video, I will focus in on the cleansers that I'm really loving these days. I have so many beautiful cleansers going, some old, some new. So I thought I might do that for my next video because I'm just so excited about all the cleansers that I'm using right now. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that in my next video. I will mention that in the morning, a lot of the times I don't actually use a cleanser. I will just rinse my face off with water in the morning, but at nighttime I do typically do a double cleanse process. And then I love to go in, as you guys know, I love to go in with a toner. I am absolutely loving the Yena toner right now. This is the Essential Mist. This does not have any lactic acid in it. There is a toner that I do love to use quite a bit. That is the Nini Organics Rain toner. That does have some lactic acid in it. I think it's very minimal lactic acid, but if I'm being very strict on not using any AHAs on my nights off of any kind of, active like that, I do reach for the Yena one. This is meant to refresh your skin, hydrate. It is very, very healing. This has a beautiful formula of adaptogens, prebiotics, and it is in such a beautiful base of white tea and rose hydrosol. So the scent is absolutely gorgeous. It has a beautiful fine mist, but like I mentioned in a previous video where I spoke about this mist, it does, even though it's so fine, it does a really beautiful job of just drenching your skin. So even though it's fine, it really gives your skin a really nice dousing of the mist, which I really appreciate. There's tremella in here, which is very hydrating. Like I said, it's got the white tea, which is a beautiful antioxidant and is very soothing to the skin. There's also cordyceps in here, which is an adaptogen, and it provides antioxidants and it's anti-inflammatory. The scent, like I said, it's got that white tea and rose hydrosol scent. It's just so, so beautiful. And I've been reaching for this so frequently, whether it is a active night or a night where I am off of my actives. I absolutely love reaching for this. And then when it comes to serums, I have several that I really like to reach for that do not have the AHAs in it or any kind of retinol in it. And one of my absolute favorites is the Merit Great Skin. Now this does have some actives in it like niacinamide. It's also got hyaluronic acid in here. There's caffeine, there's Japanese gold thread root. And this is just a very beautiful, nourishing, and very hydrating serum. And you can see that it is a biphase serum. So the oils are on the top and then the water-based serum is at the bottom, so you have to shake it up. And that's what it looks like once it is all mixed together. And I find that I reach for this when I want a really good jolt of hydration and if I really feel like my skin needs some help in the glow department. So especially during the day when I feel like maybe my skin is looking a little bit parched when I wake up, in the morning. And then, like I said, in the evening when I am having one of my rest nights from the actives. So yeah, I just really, really enjoy this. The one thing I will say, and I'm not gonna demonstrate this right now because I don't want this to squirt all over the place. Just trust me when I say, when you depress the pump, it does have a tendency to kind of splatter. So I do think they need to refine the pump dispenser a little bit more. And I don't know if that would mean maybe putting it into a dropper type of dispenser, Or I don't know if they just need to fine tune the pump in general, maybe just come up with a different kind of mechanism. That's the only negative I have to say about this at all. It is not a deal breaker for me. They did send this to me in PR, but I would 100% purchase this with my own money. The only thing I do is I just tend to depress it on the slower side, and I keep my hand a little bit further away so the product doesn't splatter all over the place. But just a heads up on that, if you haven't purchased this yet, just be a little bit cautious with how quickly you depress the pump. Overall, big rave for this product. I feel like it's just a perfect serum to reach for when your skin needs a little bit of glow, hydration, also moisturization, because there are oils in here, and it just is a great soothing product. And then another serum that I love to reach for on those rest nights is the Once in a Pink Moon Leo Essence. Still really loving this product. It has the most gorgeous scent of cardamom. If you are a cardamom fan, I highly recommend this. It also has a hint of bergamot in it, but cardamom is definitely the overriding scent of this. So gorgeous. This also similar to the Yena Essential Mist. This is also in a base of white rose hydrosol. There's aloe juice in here, glycerin, moringa oil, niacinamide, and hyaluronic acid. Just simply beautiful. So like I keep mentioning, it kind of depends upon what you view as actives. So clearly there are beautiful actives in here, like I said, with the niacinamide and the hyaluronic acid. You know, those are, I would consider actives, but not in that actives category in my mind, like, you know, a retinoid or an AHA, but nevertheless, beautiful ingredients in here that I do like to use on those nights off from retinoid or an AHA. So beautiful. Absolutely love it. If you have not checked out the Once in a Pink Moon line from Pink Moon, highly recommend checking that out. Now I'm going to move on to a really special serum that I have been enjoying so much. This is from Fortuna Skin. This is their face and neck serum. And if you are not familiar yet with Fortuna Skin, please do go check out my video. I spoke pretty in depth about Fortuna Skin in my, let's see, I think it was my March and April favorites. So definitely go check out that video because I go fairly in depth into the brand. I have just completely fallen head over heels with Fortuna, but I will let you know real quickly that as a brand, they are very devoted to regenerative farming. They are based in Sicily. They have a gorgeous estate in Sicily, and I honestly cannot say enough great things about them. They are on the high end, definitely very eco-luxe brand, and their price definitely reflects that. I will let you know, so I do have a code with them. That information is linked down below, but I will let you know that right now, Fortuna does have a sale going on, which is through May 30th. I will put the information right up at the top of the description box, but just real quick to let you know, if you spend $200, you'll save $50. If you spend $300, you'll save $100. And if you spend $400, you will save $150. So now is the perfect time to check out Fortuna if you have not checked them out before. But anyway, as you can see, I am almost out of this serum, and I'm really tempted to purchase the full size of this. This is just the 15 ml size. But I wanted to let you know that it is actually very similar to the Earthwise Beauty Ambrosia do Cerrado. So if you have been looking for a replacement for Ambrosia, the Fortuna Neck and Face Serum is the closest thing that I have found to Ambrosia. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is not only to give you all a heads up that this product, the Fortuna Skin, is a good replacement for it, but I was saying that I really want to purchase another one of these because I'm almost out, but I do actually have this is actually empty, but I do have, thankfully, I do have another full backup of the Ambrosia that I purchased right before Earthwise Beauty went out of business. So I do have a full size of this, so I can't quite justify purchasing another one of these because these are so similar. And the reason why they're so similar is because if you're familiar with Ambrosia, you know that this is in a base of aloe leaf juice and then it has beautiful oils in it. Well, the Fortuna Face and Neck Serum is in a base of olive leaf water, and then it's got olive oil in it, and it's not just any olive oil. It is from their estate in Sicily. It's award-winning, it's organic. I mean, and that even just talking about that, just those two things is not even giving it justice as to how beautiful the olive oil is in here. There's also squalane, there's gorgeous botanical extracts from their Sicilian estate. Including the Ancusa azurea, there's chicory extract, mallow, leaf, and flower extract. It's just so beautiful. So if you have been looking for a replacement for Ambrosia do Cerrado, and now that this sale is actually going on, and this is quite expensive, this is a perfect time to give this a try. And then continuing on the Fortuna theme, I'm going to move into oils that I really like to use on my rest nights. And this is the Fortuna Skin Bi-Phase Moisturizing Oil. This is another gorgeous product. And I actually thought that this might be an interesting replacement for Ambrosia do Cerrado, because if you will notice here, as it tells you in the name, this is a bi-phase product. So you'll see the oil is on the top and then the aqueous ingredients are on the bottom, but this is definitely more of an oil. So this is definitely oilier than the face and neck serum, which is definitely more of an aqueous type of product similar to Ambrosia. But this is absolutely beautiful. This is a gorgeous oil that does have the, like I said, it's got the bi-phase, so you do have to shake it up. And in here, you also have the olive leaf water. It's also got the olive oil. It's got the 12 organic wild foraged plants, including the Ancusa azurea. It's got calendula, nettle, mallow. It's just absolutely beautiful. So I would say the difference between these two is, like I said, this has more of that liquidy texture. It soaks into the skin very quickly. It's that true serum type of texture that I just absolutely love. And then this one is more of that oily type of texture. This also has vitamin C in it. Now, it's a very gentle vitamin C, so I have no problem using this on my nights off when I'm taking a break from the retinoids and the AHAs. And in fact, when I'm doing a full Fortuna Skin evening, like their whole rituals, so when I use their cleansing balm, and then I use their micellar cleansing essence, and then I use the serum, and then I use the oil, and then I either top it with, and I'm about to talk about this, and then I top it with one of their creams or their balms. When I wake up in the morning, my skin just feels amazing. And so I'm talking about that because I will typically do that whole ritual on my night off. And so when I use this, which has the vitamin C, I don't feel like my skin gets irritated by the vitamin C or anything. I just feel like it's completely nourished and just helps brighten my skin. So this is fabulous. It does have the magnolia essential oil in here, and Fortuna Skin only uses magnolia oil as an essential oil in 4 of their products, and this is one of them. So, and I believe it's in their cleansing balm. It's in their balm here that I'm about to talk about, or I'm going to talk about in a minute. All of their other products are completely essential oil free. And like I said, the magnolia oil is the only essential oil that they use in their line. So anyway, this is absolutely beautiful. Love using this on my rest nights. The 2 other oils that I typically use on my rest nights are the Live Botanical First Light Oil. And you guys know I've been raving about this one for years now. This does have vitamin C in it as well. It's got beautiful berry oils in it, calendula, ceramides. I don't think I mentioned this, but ceramides again could be considered an active, but it's an active that I love using on my rest nights because it's just so nourishing. Beautiful, beautiful oil. Love this one so much. And then I also really like using the Nourish Botanical Serum also on my rest nights. Now this does have bakuchiol in it, which, you know, like I mentioned, could be considered an active in that retinoid realm. It is not a retinoid though. It is considered by some to be a botanical retinol alternative because it does have, very similar results as retinol on the skin. So what I typically do is just take a couple of drops of this and I add it to whatever cream I'm using that night. And then obviously just rub it into my skin. And like I said, it's incredibly gentle. And then just to let you know real quickly, it's got rhodiola in it. As I mentioned, bakuchiol. It also has licorice in it, which of course could be considered an active by the definitions that I read to you. Licorice is great for brightening the skin. It's in a base of camellia seed oil. Now I think it's important to let you know about the scent of this product, which is quite strong and it is relatively tenacious, but it is gorgeous if you like woody type scents. So there's vetiver in here, hoe wood, frankincense and myrrh, agar wood, and also black spruce. So it's very calming, very grounding, but it is on the strong side. So for me, it's not offensive, and I do tend to not like, skincare products on my face that are on the strong side. But this is really beautiful. And when I combine it, and I'm about to talk about this one real quickly, but when I do put a couple of drops in the Yena Hydra Cloud Cream, it's just a very gorgeous combination. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's jump into the creams that I am loving right now. Pretty much every night, regardless of if it's an active skincare night or if it's a rest night. This is one that I have been reaching for almost every single evening. And if you'd like a deeper dive too into Yena, in that same video where I talked about Fortuna, which was in the March-April favorites of mine, I did also talk quite a bit and more in depth about Yena as well. So that is a good video to watch if you're curious about Yena and Fortuna. I did speak about the Essence Mist in that one, and I also spoke about the Hydra Cloud Cream in that video as well. So this obviously has continued to be a huge favorite of mine, but this just has the most gorgeous texture. It's bouncy and fluffy. It's so hard to translate through the camera how beautiful these textures are. This one specifically, it's just got such a beautiful slip and feel on the skin. It's just, Hydra Cloud is the perfect name for this product. They really could not have come up with a better name. And the ingredients in here are niacinamide, it's got a ginseng complex, beautiful fatty acids, adaptogens, moisture boosters like rice germ oil, glycerin, ceramides. The scent has kind of a medicinal root type of scent. If you're familiar with what traditional Chinese medicine roots smell like, it's kind of got that type of a scent on the bitter side, yet balanced very well with neroli. So it has a little bit of that sweet scent of neroli, but it's not too strong because I tend to get a little bit of fatigue with neroli. Neroli, I will like at the very beginning. When I get a product, I'm like, oh my God, I love this scent. The neroli is so beautiful. And then after a couple of weeks, I kind of get tired of neroli. But in this, it just balances so well. Like I said, kind of with that more bitter, like TCM medicinal root type of scent, rootiness. So the blend of those two scent profiles meld beautifully together, and I just absolutely love the scent of this. So this is a humongous favorite of mine. I'm absolutely loving it, and like I said, I love using it every single night, but I really, really love using it on those rest nights when I really just want to nourish my skin. But I will say, I keep talking about kind of like the nourishing of the skin, but on those nights where I am using, an AHA or a retinoid serum, those nights it's really important to use a very nourishing cream. So that's why I've just been loving using this every single night. Or not every single night, but most every night, because I will also say I have been absolutely loving, and I spoke about this in the March and April favorites video, is the Fortuna Skin Day and Night Cream Set. Oh my God, I am still loving this so much. Both of these are absolutely beautiful. I think I lean a little bit more towards the nightly cream. And now this is something I am really considering picking up during their sale because I am almost out of it. It's actually quite amazing though how long this little I would say it's kind of like a travel set, a little discovery set. I'm actually pretty amazed as to how long these have lasted though. You don't need very much. I use a little spatula to scoop it out because I really don't want to waste any of it. And I scoop it out and then I directly apply the cream onto my face from the spatula. And I think it maybe says to apply a pea-size amount, and I would agree with that because it just spreads and smooths over the skin so beautifully. Now, the nightly one has a blend of the olive leaf water and the olive oil, botanical extracts from the Sicilian estate. It's got jojoba oil, shea butter, ceramides, and it's just, I really can't speak highly enough about this. It just has this magical texture. I love the way it feels on the skin. I just can't describe it. I've never felt anything like it before in my life. It is so gorgeous. And when I wake up the next morning, I can still, I can just kind of barely feel it on my skin, but I know that it's there because then when I rinse it off with water, I can feel it coming off of my skin, and it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And like I said, when I do the whole Fortuna skin kind of ritual, just beautiful, luxurious ritual at nighttime, my skin just looks really wonderful in the morning. So I cannot say enough good things about it. So I love this little duo. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the full size of the nightly cream. And then lastly, let's talk about, before I talk about the balm, I do want to mention real quickly, because I know several of the things I've been talking about, especially the Fortuna skin, are very high priced. I want to mention something that is very reasonably priced, which is the Jordan Samuel Moisture Recovery Cream. This is such a beautiful cream, and it has squalane, glycerin, shea butter, and ceramide in it. And it has an incredible texture. Now it's thicker than the Hydro Cloud from Yena or the nightly cream or the day cream from Fortuna. It definitely has a thicker texture, but it's not so thick that I can't use it during the day. I have used a tiny little amount of this on my skin during the day when I feel like my skin is really parched. It penetrates into the skin very quickly. I feel like this also would be a really nice hand cream as well. So if you're on the market for a really lovely hand cream, this is a good multitasker, I would say. But yeah, I just really love how this feels on the skin. It's not quite as experiential as the Yena or the Fortuna. With the Yena and the Fortuna, you really get that kind of like resonant feeling of all the beautiful botanicals and just kind of like that, I don't know, it's hard to say, a little bit more artisanal experience with the Yena and the Fortuna. But Jordan Samuel is such an amazing person, and I love everything that he does, and I love his philosophy, and I love him as a person. So even though this maybe has a little bit more of kind of like that lab kind of feeling, you still get that feeling of him as a person and all the thought and care that went behind the formula, in this product. So I don't want to take away from that at all, but it just doesn't have quite that same, sort of like all I can say is that experiential type of experience when you use this product as compared to the other two. But I will say this is much more affordable. So there is that. And it is a beautiful, beautiful product. I absolutely love using it. My skin feels fantastic after applying it, and I will definitely be getting this in the future. I'd never tried this before. It's my first time using this product. It's under $40, I can tell you that much. And then also with my code 15% off, you just cannot beat this at all. Okay, so the last product I have is the balm, and it is the Replenishing Balm from Fortuna. Gorgeous, gorgeous packaging. And I love the fact that you get this little spatula and that it has the magnetic top, so you're never gonna lose it. I just think that is such a great touch. And I go back and forth with balms. Sometimes I'm really into them, sometimes I am not into them at all. The one balm that I was really loving was Isadora from Earthwise Beauty. Sadly, we can no longer get that. So I really was kind of in the market for experiencing a new balm, and Fortuna was very, very sweet and sent me this, and I really am loving it. It is one of those balms that just kind of meets that little Goldilocks spot. It's not too juicy and it's also not too dry. And it just soaks into the skin really beautifully. You can see it's got that gorgeous blue color, which thankfully comes from spirulina. It does not come from blue tansy. There is no blue tansy in here. I know that it could be a little confusing because of the color, but there's no blue tansy. Thank goodness, because as some of you might know, I'm not a big blue tansy fan. So let's just get a little bit out here so you can see this gorgeous texture. So look at that, so pretty. So you can see the gorgeous texture, and it gets real melty real fast. So that's kind of what I mean by that nice blend between the dry balm at the beginning, and then it gets real juicy as you're rubbing it in and it melts into the skin. And it has a really lovely scent of the magnolia oil. So that's what I was telling you about earlier in the video, that the magnolia essential oil is the only essential oil that they use. So it's got that real lovely magnolia oil scent as far as the scent goes. And then, as always, it's got the beautiful olive fruit oil in here, beeswax, so it's not vegan, it's got beeswax in here. There's marula seed butter, as I mentioned, the spirulina. It's got dandelion leaf and dandelion flower, hawthorn flower. There's other extracts in there. Those are just the ones that I wrote down. So a beautiful, beautiful balm. I love using this at nighttime on top of all of my lovely skincare. So this has been a really lovely balm and product to have on those rest nights, as well as on top of, if I'm using a retinoid or an AHA. But specifically for this video where I'm talking about Nourishing Actives, I definitely wanted to let you all know that this is a new balm that I have from Fortuna that I am absolutely loving. So that does it. That wraps it up for all of these beautiful, beautiful products that I have that I love to use on my rest nights, as well as many of these I do use also on the nights where I am using AHAs or retinoids as well. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or any comments, please do not hesitate to leave those down below. If you have any favorites that you are using that you feel like just, that your skin is absolutely loving, I would love to hear about those products. And like I mentioned in my next video, I think I will be talking about the cleansers that I am loving. And I don't know if you can tell right now, but my eyes are super sparkly, and that is because I got some new eye makeup from Victoria Beckham that I just on a whim decided to play with this morning. I don't really know if it goes with the top that I have on today, but I decided to go for it. So that is what I have in my eyes. So if you all are interested in the things that I got from Victoria Beckham, then I would love to maybe do a get ready with me or just a eye look or swatch video or whatever. So if you're interested in that, please do let me know down below. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in that next video. Bye.